Hello and welcome to Ops Kit. I've got the Blackhawk Hawkpoint folding pocket knife here. I've got to say, well, when I first looked at this I thought, ooh, maybe it's going to be a bit too small, a bit too tight. I've got big hands. Right, but upon getting my hands on it, I've got to say I've changed my mind a lot. This has now become my EDC knife. Right, it goes virtually everywhere with me. It's just a nice, small, it's incredibly robust for its size. You tend to find a lot of small pocket knives, right, that are a bit flimsy. I'm very heavy-handed on a knife. This, right, is quite something else. I mean, if we just take a look at this from tip to butt, right, we've got a blade here. This has got to be 3.5 millimeters thick. You know, I mean, straight away, this is having a lot of strength to this. Right, it's very nicely ground. It hasn't been ground away too much, right, which is a great advantage to it. It retains a high level of strength. The actual grind of the edge is very nicely done. I had a good close look at this because, I mean, the knife itself was very great. It was great value for money, right? And then when I find things that are good, it's not cheap. Don't get me wrong. It's just good value for money, and that is the distinct difference in my view. I tend to look at things very, very closely when I find that I'm getting a good deal, right? And I'll tell you something, this is a very good deal. It's beautifully ground, right? This is the part serrated edge. This is available in plain edge as well. You probably get a better look at that. I mean, this knife is like an absolute razor straight out of the packet, right? I have a tendency to have to sharpen things maybe till they're too sharp. This is one knife I've not needed to touch, right, when it came out of the packaging, right? I'm very impressed with that, right? I mean, if Blackhawk can do this, then why can't other manufacturers do it? Why do you sometimes you pick a knife up, right, and it's no different to having a slab of metal in your hand, right? There's no edge there, right? On the back here, not saying that people have a bit of a drink problem, but perhaps they do. I'm going to put my finger behind it so you can see it nice and clear. It's got a bottle opener on it, right? Nice thought that is. That has been used a lot, right? Moving on to the scales. Well, this has got it's stainless steel. It's PVD coated, right? So on the back here, right, on the pocket clip side, right, it's got a nice coating on there. Right, that is stainless steel underneath that coating. Move on to the other side. This is an injection molded fiberglass reinforced nylon. Right, but behind that you've got the 420J2 stainless steel liner. So this is what you're looking at on the other side. But this adds a nice grip to it. For those of you that are wondering, this feels very much like G10. Right, it's not, but that's what it feels like. Right, you've got a frame lock, right, which is very, very steady. I mean, this knife, once this is locked, right, this is solid. This is just like having a fixed blade in your hand. Right, frame lock works well. It's nice and stiff. Right, there's nothing that's going to jump out. The action of the knife is nice and loose. It's loose enough to give nice, easy one-handed opening, but it's not so loose where it's going to just flop open in your pocket. Right, the clip on the back, that has been positioned. It's not movable. It's been positioned so that it's a tip down carry, right, which in my opinion is really the safest way to carry it. But again, where this blade is, it's stiff enough to stop it just coming open in your pocket. I've had lock knives, unfortunately, where they have come open in my pocket, and I've got the scars to prove it. Everything about it is completely strippable. Right, it's all held together with Torx screws. Right, it can all be taken apart for cleaning. Right, the main pivot screw up here, right, again, there's a Torx screw. You can tighten that if the blade works a little bit loose. I mean, everything works a bit loose with use. You can just nick that up a bit. It brings it back to as it's standard. Right, very nice knife. Right, a couple of things I haven't mentioned. Right, you've got a very natty. Now, I didn't try this. My son beat me to it. Right, and it works really, really well. He's doing a job on his car, and it's got a little tiny nick in there. I don't know whether you're going to be able to see this, right? But it's a little tiny nick right down here, right? And it's a wire stripper, and it really works, right? I was very impressed with it. I mean, sometimes you find these little bits and pieces, you think, oh, it's a gimmick. It's not, right? It does its job. The blade itself, as with every Blackhawk knife I've laid my hands on, is Oz 8A, right, never had a problem with this steel. It sharpens nicely, it retains a good edge, right, it takes a lot of punishment, right, you've got lots of grip on the back here, right, I mean everything about it is really good. And for such a small pocket knife, right, it's good, right, I mean the slight headache in the UK, anything with a locking blade, right, is illegal unless you've got a good use, you've got a good use for it, right, but the blade length, right, 2.375 inches or 60 millimeters, which is well within the legal length. And the overall length of the knife is 5.625 inches, right, or 143 millimeters. So although it's a small knife, so with my big hands, right, it's a nice size to hold, right. You don't have any issues with it being too small, right. If anybody's got any questions, please drop me a line. At the end of the day, right, we'll try and find out any answers to any questions you may have. Excuse me. I'd like to ask you if you could subscribe to my channel, right. There's a lot of Blackhawk reviews coming up, right. I've got some of their kit and whatever. I'm a little bit late in doing some of my work. I've been a bit delayed, unfortunately. I was involved in an accident. That's another story. Just please subscribe to the channel, right. You will receive email updates, right, as and when they're published. Right, any questions, please give me a shout. If you need any more info, take a look at Blackhawk's website. You'll find the web address at the end of the review. Thanks for watching. Bye.